the East Cape and Buena Vista, August, first week of August always.
Yes.
And then October back to back, starting the second and third week. It's always the second and third week of October.
Okay.
And that's our main event.
Welcome to the Nick Fong Podcast. As the broker and owner of Ronival Real Estate, Nick has spent nearly 20 years in Baja, California, sir. And in this podcast, he'll be talking everything Baja, from food and culture to real estate and property management. And now, here's your host, Nick Fong.
All right, welcome back to the podcast. It looks a little bit different because we're at Baja Cantina. Thanks, George, the owner, for hosting us here. And today's special guest is Wayne Bisbee. Welcome, Wayne.
Thanks, Nick. Appreciate. Happy to be here.
Wayne, a lot of people know you. A lot of people don't. A lot of people know your last name, Bisbee. Why don't we start off with when was the first time that your family came to Cabo?
Gosh, the first time would be my dad, of course, and that would be in the mid-'70s. Well, no, early 70s. It was 3 years after they built the Transpeninsular,
Really?
highway. So he came down in probably late 69, 70 would have been his first trip.
Okay.
And then my first trip was 1975.
And so you were a kid.
Of course, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I was 3 years old. I was in junior high school, 11 years old in 75, and drove down, first trip driving down, and turned it into a 1-month spring break.
And we were just talking, Greg Willis, our sales director in Ronival, knows you. You guys are friends, and tell us about the history with you and Greg.
Oh gosh, Greg and I go way back. We go back to the late 70s, early 80s, and he was boat captain down here. I was actually in the mid 80s, 84, 85, running the moorings down here, because back in the day there was a marina. You would have never conceived a marina here. And so my dad had the concession for moorings. We had 110 moorings in the peak, and you rented them monthly, and so I was, running the mooring company for a few years, and Greg at the time was a boat captain, and back then there wasn't 480 boats down here. You've got 60, 70. So it was a very small community of boat captains, deckhands, and kind of transplants, that were mostly U.S. guys, and we're all buddies.
So Wayne, were you living here at that time?
At that time, I was living here.
Okay.
So 84, 85, mid-80s, I was living here full-time, and then, oh gosh, the family's always had a house down here since 1970-ish.
So tell us about the Bisbee tournament. When did it get started? Tell us stories about the origin.
I'll condense it, because
right.
And it's our 41st year. In 41 years, you got a lot of stories. I can sit here and I'm known to talk too much anyway. Started in 82. First tournament was 6 boats, $10,000 in prize money. I don't know how candid. It was my dad and 6 buddies sitting at the Marty Cortez bar. Beer muscles came out. I can fish better than you, and 10 grand gets put down on the bar.
That was it.
Let's go do a tournament.
1982.
1982, and my dad ended up winning it. My older brother Bobby was the captain, and that started it. Well, all of a sudden the guy's like, "What were you guys 6 boats out there this morning? What were you guys doing all lined up?" And y'all kind of gunned it at the same time. "Oh, we're doing a tournament. What's that?" Well, blah blah blah. Well, we want to be in on it, so all right, so we'll do another one. And they did another one. That was a spring tournament. So did a black and blue tournament in the fall, same year, and 13 boats and 20 grand. And it just kind of started organically growing like that. And all up until the 90s, it was all Southern California boats. East Coast, Gulf area, Cabo, nobody knew about Cabo. Cabo, this wasn't the town that we all know it as. I mean, this was an outpost that Southern California boys came down to and wintered their boats here and went back to California for summer. And it was the 90s when it started being more, being developed. And we just literally grew at exactly the same pace and rate as the town. As the town doubled in hotel rooms and flights, we doubled in boat number. Did it again. The parallel is ridiculous.
So many years, the Bisbee tournament. And now there's been offshoots, like different Bisbee tournaments. When did that start happening?
The East Cape tournament and the offshoots about 98, 99. So we added the East Cape tournament. We added the tournament that precedes, right, the day or two before, precedes the Black and Blue, which the Black and Blue, Bisbee's Black and Blue Marlin tournament is the one we're known for. That's world's richest tournament that we claim, and that kind of thing. So that's what the name recognition comes from, is 1 week.
Yeah.
We do actually do 3 weeks of tournaments, 3 separate ones.
And what are those 3 separate ones?
The East Cape and Buena Vista, August, first week of August always.
Yes.
And then October back to back, starting the second and third week. It's always the second and third week of October.
Okay.
And that's our main event.
Right now it's October 12th, 2021, and when is the tournament this year?
This year,
Big one.
our first ones, the big one is Tuesday, a week from today.
A week from today is the big one.
Yep.
And how many boats are already registered?
Probably 120 pre-registered. Yesterday was a holiday, so we're now online seeing what wires came in over the Sunday, Monday. But I would say we'll open with probably more boats than we had last year. And we register on site.
Right.
So when I say we open with as many as we had, we'll register tons of boats on registration day. So I don't want to jinx us.
Right.
But
last year,
growing.
2020, how many boats registered?
127.
Okay.
We opened with 95.
Got it.
We're opening with 120 right now.
So
Again, don't want to jinx us, but I'm telling you right now, by this time next week, Tuesday night next week, we're going to be sitting here going, holy criminy. Because last year broke every record we did. All 3 tournaments broke every record that we had ever had.
Really?
And we were out of business half the year. Mexico was closed.
Right.
And all
so
of a sudden,
why did it break all the records?
Prize money. That's all anybody cares about is prize money now. And prize money was up 20% across. 4.1 million in the big tournament was our record. 4.2 actually. It went to 4.6 and change. We're already at 4.6. So we're going to blow the doors off of what we've done. And so will the first tournament. So did East Cape. East Cape 2 months ago was up 32% in boat number, 45% in prize money. All 3 tournaments now break $1 million. There's only 10 or 12 tournaments in the world that break $1 million in prize money. 3 of them are now here.
Hey, thanks for being a part of the Nick Fong Podcast. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast to get the latest updates. And if you're watching this on our social channels, please like and share. And if you want to be featured, or you want me to talk on a certain topic, food, activities, culture, real estate in the Baja, drop a comment. Where are the other big fishing tournaments?
The ones that break the $1 million, the Gulf Coast has 3, possibly 4. I'd have to literally count because the last couple of years have been good to the bigger tournaments.
Right.
So they've added a couple. The East Coast, like the Mid-Atlantic area, Jersey and Ocean City, or Maryland and stuff, they've got the biggest of the U.S. ones.
Got it.
But now North Carolina broke $1 million again. Twice now they've done it. And then there's 3 or 4 in the Gulf, Panhandle area and stuff.
So this year there was a movie released on the Bisbee tournament, Blue Miracle, right? And tell me about what effect that has had in terms of the reputation, the notoriety of the Bisbee tournament.
From a marketing standpoint, absolutely awesome. From a personal standpoint, brought a lot of friends that I haven't talked to in 20 years out of the woodworks. It's really been cool.
That's really cool.
So from an actual, did we get participants out of it? Can't really tell you.
Right.
But the orphanage, flat out awesome for them. They have 3,500 donors within 1 week of that movie coming out. 3,500 brand new donors to that orphanage, and within a week of the movie coming out, they had actually had more in donations than they won on stage at the at the tournament. So
that's incredible.
Awesome for the frickin'
And the area,
orphanage.
right? Not just the Bisbee tournament, the orphanage, but Los Cabos.
Oh,
Baja.
absolutely. No, absolutely. Our website, the orphanage's website's off the charts. You can't imagine if I showed you last when was it? May? Last May versus this May, it just goes I mean, so yeah, marketing-wise, absolutely awesome for us, and I like the movie. They took a lot of Hollywood license.
Yes.
But that's okay.
So Wayne, what are you doing now with the Bisbee tournament? What is your role in it?
I'm the one that if it doesn't go right, I'm the one that gets yelled at. If it goes right, I don't get the credit. So I'm the chief slave, I guess you'd call it.
PR, marketing, you're the face of the...
Kind of the face of it, and kind of the overall. Trisha, my sister Trisha and Dave Garcia, they're kind of the computer, figure out the registrations and data processing and all of that. I've got Closario Mercado down here, which has been with me for 30 years. He's my local full-timer that runs around getting all our permits and doing all that and trying to keep us out of trouble. And Closario, I mean, he's year-round with us.
So the 41 tournaments that have happened, have you participated in any of them?
No, none of it. Well, my brother would run a boat in them, as a captain for a lot of the years, but my dad didn't do it again. Little self-serving there. So he hadn't, but no, not participated. My first tournament, that I came to was 87, so I missed the first 5 because the tournament was a marketing vehicle for my dad. My dad's business was a fuel dock in Newport Harbor the Union 76 fuel dock next to the ferry landing. That's my dad. That was his business, our family business forever, and a tackle store attached to it. So the tournament was a marketing vehicle for those businesses.
Nice.
We were their last stop before they spent the winter here.
Sure.
We were their first stop when they got back. Provisioning, oil changing, doing all that. And while they were here, we were the ones getting them their parts. I need a propeller. Well, the airport wasn't like it is right now. We could get parts down here faster than the airlines could, or faster. There was no UPS or anything like that. There was always a private plane going down for a boat. There was always a car going down. It was a network of help these guys out on a regular basis.
Right.
It kept my dad coming down. The tournament was a marketing vehicle for that, and the fact that it turned into a business, so to speak, by design, I'd love to tell you, yep, I planned it this way and all that. No. It was organic, and we did come up with some things that did help it launch and all that, but the location, the destination of Cabo is a no-brainer for it, and the fishing, of course. But now that it's got everything it has, it's a no-brainer for doing what we do.
Right. So Wayne, you've been coming here for a number of years. You've grown up in Los Cabos. One last question I have for you.
Yeah.
What does Cabo and the Baja mean to you?
Second home. Always has been, always will be. I mean, think about it. I mean, my entire, even kid life plus adult life has been here. I mean, if I'm not living here full time, it's bouncing back and forth all the time. But no, it's a second home. And even for my kids, I mean, my kids were crawling around, on the floors everywhere here, So, yeah, I mean, for my entire family, my dad, literally, it was his favorite place on earth. End of story. I mean, it's not even, there wasn't even a close second kind of thing, So.
And a lot of people are catching that Cabo fever, right? And
look around you. I mean, you're in the real estate business. I mean, dear Lord, you see it every day. I mean,
absolutely.
And there's no reason not to make it that. I mean, it's as accessible. Where's more accessible? Where's got more to offer between whether it's a golf guy, whether it's a fishing guy, whether it's a beach guy?
Yeah.
Name another place.
No, it's incredible. And Wayne, I appreciate your time to talk to us. I know it was hard to connect with you, but we finally connected. So I'm very thankful for that, and good luck on the tournament coming up.
All right.
Thanks to George and the Baja Cantina, and until the next one, bye for now.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Nick Fong Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and the YouTube channel at youtube.com/Ronival Real Estate, and follow Nick on Instagram at NickFong_Ronival. Ready to find your Baja dream home? Check out the latest property listings at Ronival.com or findmexicohouses.com. Hasta luego.